Welcome to Vysh IAS. So we'll be continuing with the Plums series of Polity, Governance and Schemes today. Okay, so if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing this channel so that you will be getting daily free updates on UPSC. And if you're looking for a good quality test series, then you can contact the number which is given on the screen 7200681675. We'll move to the first question for the day. So the first question reads, Panchayati Raj as introduced in 1959 operates at, and options are given, Samiti and block levels, block and district levels, Samiti and district levels, village, block and district levels. So as far as UPSC Polity Prelims is concerned, this Panchayati Raj as a topic is very important. Okay, very important, this portion. I would say it's a grey area. Many candidates would not be covering this properly, this Panchayati Raj institutions, and particularly I'm talking about the local self-government bodies. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm talking about this local self-government bodies. Okay, the Panchayati Raj institutions and the municipalities, such kind of things. So questions will be coming from this area and many people will be neglecting this. So this is an area where you can score, and every year one question will come from this area. Particularly because we are following a democratic form of government, these institutions, these grassroots level institutions becomes very important as far as polity is concerned. Okay, so please give a special impetus to this portion. So why I am telling this now, as we all know, prelims is nearing. So what you can do is, you can prioritize your portions. Okay, prioritize your portions. No matter if you haven't covered all the portions, that is not going to be a matter. Okay, so in UPSC Polity Prelims, you have to keep, always you keep the reference as the prelims PYQs. Okay, so for prelims, PYQ is the greatest and most effective database which you can safely rely upon. You can confidently rely upon this database. Okay, so no test series can beat this prelims previous year question paper. Okay, so always go through this previous year question paper during the last phase of your preparation. So from today, if you haven't learned this PYQ database, please go through that. Okay, please take the PYQs and solve it repeatedly. At least 3 times you have to solve the prelims PYQs, and you have to get to that knack. Okay, how to solve the PYQs, how to apply logic, and you will get to know some important portions. You will get to know that particular pattern in which UPSC is framing questions. In that frame, in that pattern frame, you can find that Panchayati Raj becomes an important topic in polity. Okay, in polity itself, we can predict some amount of portions, and out of that portions, Panchayati Raj becomes very important. That's why in the coming days, in the coming episodes, we'll be focusing more upon that. So our motive will be 70% of the questions will be coming from nearly 50% topics. Okay, so no need to cover 100% topics. I won't say no need to cover, but in the coming days you have to prioritize those 50% of the topics from which you are going to get more than 70% of the questions. Okay, so please keep this in your mind. Okay, so in this question, the correct answer is D, village, block and district levels. And you already know that the 3-tier Panchayati Raj system, which is operating at Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti and Zilla Parishad. Okay, so please go and revise this portion. Now come to the next question. This is also regarding the Panchayati Raj institution only. Panchayati Raj administration is primarily aimed at. Now look at these pattern of questions. These pattern of questions are having a probability of getting wrong. Okay, you will get wrong easily because the options are framed in such a way that all the options are looking similar. We'll be thinking, oh, all the options are same only, and which one we have to go for. So since this is prelims, you have no other way, only one option can be correct. So out of the given options, you have to choose which is most relevant. Okay, so most relevant is the answer. So many questions are coming in this pattern in UPSC prelims. At least 2 or 3 questions will be coming every year from any subject in this pattern. Okay, wherein the options given are looking the same and you have to choose the most relevant or most suitable option. Okay, so here look at the options. To increase the agricultural production, yes, Panchayati Raj institution, it can do that. Then rural development, yes, it can do that. To work for the upliftment of our Harijans, it can do that. And D, to arouse the people in each area intensive and continuous interest in the community development program, yes, this can also happen. So everything is looking similar, but you have to choose the correct option. So Here the most suitable option is community development program. Okay, so this is in connotation with the idea of local self-government. Okay, local self-governance. Okay, the democratic decentralization. So community development is in connotation with this idea of local self-governance. So out of the given options, the most suitable option is option number D. Okay. So the correct answer is D, to arouse the people of each area in intensive and continuous interest in community development program. So the other three options where you can use in mains. Okay, in mains answer writing, whenever a question comes, you can use these points in mains. See, this is how you have to interlink. You can give different dimensions and you can use this in mains confidently, because this has already come in UPSC Prelims only. So you can use this. Okay. So please learn these kind of tricks also. Okay. Now come to the next question. The case of dispute in presidential election is referred to. Fairly easy question, and I will say president. From the portion of president, every year one question is sure. Okay. So please go through that portion very effectively. From the parliament you will be getting some amount of questions, and from president particularly you will be getting one question each year. Okay. So here the correct answer is Supreme Court. Okay. Now come to the next question. The most controversial provision in the 42nd constitutional amendment is, and four options are given. Again, the important constitutional amendments becomes important. Okay, only the important ones. You need not learn all the constitutional amendments till date, but the important ones, and out of the important ones, this 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act is very, very important. Okay, so you please go through the changes brought in via the 42nd Amendment. Okay, and it is known as mini constitution also. This also you have to note. Okay, because that much amount of amendments have been done through this 42nd Amendment. So it is called as a mini constitution, and out of the provisions, the most controversial provision was this D, primacy to directive principles over the fundamental rights. This was hugely discussed. Okay, other things also right, but the most controversial one was this. Okay, so always read the question carefully, and please go through this 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act and its provisions. Okay, so what was this provision? It was telling that no law implementing any of the directive principles could be declared unconstitutional on the grounds that it violated any of the fundamental rights. Again, this exact statement can be given, and the question can be framed in a different way. Okay, so always go through these provisions also, the language of amendment. Okay, you need not learn this language, but always decode the language. On seeing this particular dialogue from the constitutional amendment, you should be able to infer that this is something relating to the primacy of TPSP over fundamental right. Okay, so otherwise we are not lawyers to learn all these things, but on seeing this you should be able to decode what it is telling about. Okay, that's all that we want. Okay, now come to the next question. So here the answer is D. Now come to the next question. Which of the following territories is not absolutely independent? Okay, so like this also question can be asked. Polity can be linked to international relations, and questions can be asked which of the following countries are purely democratic, or which is the parliamentary form of government. Okay, some countries will be given and you will be asked to choose the correct option. So these kind of questions can also be asked. So you should be having a fairly decent idea of international relations, what all forms of government are operating in various parts of the world, that you should be aware. So if you see the options, Hong Kong, you can see that it is a territory of China only, so it is not an independent territory. So these kind of basic commonsensical knowledge which is recurring in news items, that you should be aware. Okay, these are coming every day in news. Okay, if not every day, these are coming frequently in news. So these kind of information you should be aware. So here the correct answer is A. The other three countries, they are absolutely independent only, like us. Okay, like India is an independent republic. The other countries, Singapore, Switzerland, Mozambique, all are having their own machinery of government only. But Hong Kong, it is not independent, it is part of China. Okay, that's the end of today's session. So we'll meet in the next week in the next episode. Until then, stay tuned. Thank you.